Customizing reports from the Halo sign-in system using macros in Microsoft Excel. In this video, we're going to be looking at macros for Excel. This is for people who want to trim down on the amount of visible information in a spreadsheet when you export data from the Halo sign-in system. With a typical export, we include all of the data that could have been captured when someone signs in. This includes their name, the sign-in date and time, along with all the answers to any questions you asked. We understand that you may not always need all of this information, and it may leave you with a lot of empty columns. In order to tidy these up, you can use macros. These are repeatable tasks. Once you record a macro in Excel, you can then play it back on another spreadsheet to repeat the task. Let's say you always want to delete columns A, B, and C in a report that you receive. You can record yourself deleting these columns once, and then by running the macro the next time you open a spreadsheet, you can get it to delete columns A, B, and C with one click. To begin with, we need to enable the Developer menu. You want to start by going to File and then Options. Now find the Customize Ribbon option. On the right hand side where it says Main Tabs, make sure that Developer is ticked and then press OK. You will then be able to see this Developer tab, which we can click on to see the option of recording macros. Once we click on Record Macro, the first thing we need to do is give it a name. The next step is very important, and that's to make sure it's being saved into your personal macro workbook, not this workbook or new workbook. This is because we need to create a macro that can be saved and used across any spreadsheet. Macros that you've saved in the personal workbook will be available to you whenever you're signed in to Excel. Give the macro a description. This is useful if you're going to be making more than one and want to remember what they do. Now press on OK. Next, go through and delete any columns that you don't need. Right-click on the column header and choose Delete to delete that column. You can also delete multiple columns in one go. Left-click on the heading of the first column you want to delete, then hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and click on the heading of the last column that you want to delete to select all of them. You can then right-click again and choose Delete. Now I'm just going through and deleting any other columns I don't want, and what we're left with is the staff member's name, the date, and the time of signing in and out. Once we're happy with how it looks, you can click Stop Recording. Now we've recorded a repeatable task that we can use on any spreadsheet we want. I'm now going to close the spreadsheet, and remember to save anything that pops up. Especially if it asks you to save your macro workbook, press Save. Now let's open up a second spreadsheet. Let's imagine the first spreadsheet we opened was 1 week's staff report, and this is the next week's report, and you want to get rid of all of the same columns as you did last time without manually deleting them. Click on the Developer tab and then click on Macros. Here you will see a list of all of your recorded macros. The one I want to use is called Staff Weekly. If it doesn't show up straight away, click on this drop down and make sure that it says Personal. Click on Staff Weekly and then press Run to see it repeat all of the tasks we just recorded. And that's it. It's deleted all of the same columns and it's showing you just the information that you need. So to recap, if you receive a report every week, for example, of staff signing in and out times, and you want to repeatedly remove unwanted columns, you can use macros to achieve this. If you want to do a similar thing for a different type of report, like visitor reports, for example, you'll need to record a separate macro for this as the columns will be different. You could end up with one macro called Staff Weekly, one called Visitor Weekly, and so on. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video was useful.